Hello everyone, I'm Tarot Dark Moon. Today's theme for your divination is whether he will be happy or annoyed when you take the initiative to contact him. Audit your heart. Underneath my first group, in the second and third group of cards, everyone silently senses which card's picture can correspond to the answer in your heart. Choose it with your first intuition and double-click to strengthen the link. The more accurate the result will be. Has everyone made their choice? Okay, let's start the first set of report shooting, talking about which kind of brand. If you actively approach her, she will be happy. Or are you tired of it? Well, this set of cards, we can clearly feel it as a world card. Let's cover it up. First of all, I feel that your reaching out to him will cause a lot of confusion, struggle, and entanglement in his heart. That is to say, no matter how ambiguous your past was, or what happened between you two in the past, regardless of any situation, such as emotional quarrels or cold war touch, we can find out that this person has a certain point. That's why you shouldn't disturb his emotions. So that's why your party, after contacting him, he may struggle and struggle in his heart. He will think about whether or not to reply to your message or how to reply to your message. So, what situation might you encounter after you send the message? It might take a long time, a few minutes, or even a few hours or a day or two before he replies to you because he is struggling in his heart whether to reply to you or how to reply to you. So it's not that he doesn't want to listen. There is such an expectation, but he has been avoiding or forcing this issue. From his point of view, he may feel that you and him are not from the same world. Either there is indeed such a practical obstacle between you, such as one party has a family, or the two of you are in a long-distance relationship, or one party's parents are particularly opposed. So in his heart, the age gap is considerable. Regardless of the age difference or whatever, it's a big difference. So this is something he's always been unable to overcome in his heart. And after you reach out to him, this will make him recall many things from the past. This will make him feel particularly hurt. So it's likely that you once did something that hurt him. When he comes into contact with him again, he will recall some past events, which will make him feel, this is very painful, so you are making cards. When you contact him, he does not feel happy. Of course, when you contact him, he does expect it to satisfy his inner expectation. Does he feel bored? I don't think he has a bored emotion. Instead, your group of cards leads him into such recollection. It reminds him of memories. The confusion caused by these emotions is quite obvious. He doesn't test you, he's not annoyed, but he's not particularly happy either, because contacting him does disrupt his current life. Distress will always make him struggle inside. So, I think you two are actually in love. But you haven't become a couple yet. You are in love, but have not officially together yet. Both of them clearly care about each other, but now they have reached this point. Whether to contact him or chat has become a difficult task for myself. Both of you are struggling in the middle for so long. No matter he or even you have such a consideration, both people live carefully, become tangled, become too concerned about the consequences. Because sometimes most of our worries are often imagined by ourselves, including him, right? Even a simple reply to your message makes him think so much. Usually thinking about the future and the past, thinking too much. So this set of cards I will feel, if you're going to contact him, I suggest you talk less about the past. Try to bring up some light topics that he might be able to respond to. If you touch on the past, as for the things between you, he might be sensitive and fall into confusion. It's very possible that he doesn't know how to respond, so he avoids replying. Thanks in advance to everyone. Let's draw a card to see what kind of advice the Book of Answers can give you about the current situation. Just draw one randomly. The time has not come yet, you see. Although the font is small, it means that it's not a good time to contact him now. Wait a bit longer. Alright, if you want to know more about his thoughts and your future development, you can find a WEN for one-on-one analysis. Smart darlings should know how to contact AUN. This is the overall situation of the first group of cards. Let's see the darlings who chose the second group of cards. Go and contact him now. Let's see if he is happy or annoyed. Okay, first off, when I draw this set of cards, I actually feel the person you test, no matter what kind of emotional entanglement you had in the past, ambiguity, unrequited love, or even breakup exercise, quarrel. In fact, I think you are very important in his heart. For him, he is a very important person in his life. You are unique. You actually have a lot in common with him. The opposite sexes you have encountered in the past are actually very different. So, in this set of cards, we can clearly feel that there are many different points about you in his heart. Your initiative to contact him indeed makes him feel, during the time when he hasn't contacted you, it certainly satisfies his emotional value. Besides this, I feel that he has a kind avoiding oneself, or rather isolating oneself, not wanting to face that feeling. So there's a high probability that some past issues between you two haven't been resolved, which could become a thorn in his heart. He is torn about some points, or there's a barrier between you two in his heart. There might be more than one person around him, not just you. So he may go on to, each time you might think of contacting him, it would plunge him into a quandary. He doesn't want to get involved, doesn't want to make choices, so everyone will fall into chaos and evasion, even though he knows in his heart, he knows in his own heart you are. Actually, he's a hard person to replace. All those emotional experiences and beautiful memories. Indeed, it's hard for anyone to replace, but even so, he would still instinctively avoid it from within. Actually, speaking from an emotional perspective, he must be happy, but if it's about reality and his own perspective, so he chooses to avoid when dealing with some things, which may cause impatience and annoyance. So there is a high probability that either of you in this group of cards has a family. Especially, he is more likely to have a family, because he is making a choice and he is struggling. So if you try to contact him, he may be struggling with whether you are forcing him to make a choice. He may feel the need to avoid, and at the same time, this person will have... In my heart, I feel that sometimes he may be more extreme. He either sees things as black and white, or he completely cuts off contact, or he is good together. He will have this feeling, not like thinking. Give each other a little buffer time for two people. So, your deck of cards is likely in a period of training now, but this is not voluntary training, but passive training, where the other party doesn't want to contact you. He's not replying to your messages anymore, so you have to exercise. So why are you worrying about whether or not to contact him? Because you're afraid he won't reply to your messages. So, this set of cards, if you practice now, is very likely. He has a sense of satisfaction in his heart, but I think he might not take action. So let's draw a card and see what kind of advice it can give you. I randomly drew one. Everyone sees these 4 words, right? Do what you can. What does it mean? The advice for your current relationship is that you are now, adjust whether to practice it according to your own ability, your own energy, and your own status. For example, after you contact him, can you adjust your own emotions and your later state? If you can adjust, you can respond, I think you can do it. But if you feel you really can't, you may not contact temporarily. Everyone can bring these 4 words to the common area. Do as much as one can. Constantly remind yourself. Don't say, act impulsively according to your own situation. This is the second set of stages. If you have any other questions, such as wanting to know his thoughts, you can come for a one-on-one analysis. Smart babies should know how to contact IOA. This is the second set of cards, an overall interpretation. Let's look at the third set of cards we chose. Will he be happy or annoyed if you actively seek him out? We drew 2 cards at the same time. Let's fold this set of cards. Third card. Well, actually drawing this set of cards also strongly represents a kind of triangle relationship energy is stronger. Either it means that there are no shortage of other genders around him, or there are indeed other emotional existence around him. Or say you have a family, then why does he exercise with you? Or the lack of contact between you is because you can't make a commitment to a one-on-one relationship. So whether he has it around him or you have it, I don't think it's one in your feelings. It's a particularly pure state, and there's likely to be some financial or interest-related exchanges between you. For instance, what benefits can he offer you, or what benefits can you offer him in this work? Or say what kind of opportunity you can provide to him. Or say this is just your relationship in the reality of the economy. What you see is that your relationship is not pure. So actually, you come to contact him, you go to contact him. He is willing. It can satisfy it in some ways, including physically. It is about tangible or experiential things in the physical, money or reality. Now, so when you try to contact him, he will constantly demand from you. So think about it. The person you're facing might be like a vampire, constantly taking from you. So you go to contact him, he must be willing, and didn't say, he must be happy or certainly annoyed, but at least you can bring him some benefits, so he is definitely willing. But your group of cards will still have feelings for each other. But as I said, these feelings may not be particularly pure at first, they are a bit complex. There's a lot to consider, And it's likely that your own thoughts are quite complex. Of course, the other person's are as well, so you're both quite complex individuals. How to develop the relationship between two people in the future? In fact, both will weigh a lot in their hearts, and you will find that the last two cards you have are that kind. From the other person's perspective, they might think that there have been many problems and contradictions accumulated between you over a period of time, but they might have chosen to. He hasn't paid attention or tried to escape. He hasn't solved anything yet. So you can say that such a person doesn't want to take responsibility for you. You can say that such a person has no responsibility, no matter what the starting point is. This person, I think, actually has feelings for you, but perhaps he lacks a bit of responsibility. So you want the other party to give you a promise or a definite answer? I think it's very difficult. It's a very difficult thing, unless he is willing to do it himself. If you say you insist on asking or keep asking him or threatening him or saying, hope to use some improper means to let him give a promise, I think this person is still very difficult because he belongs to the soft, but not hard only. If you choose to compromise in such an external way, this person may not be willing to. Such people are very tough. This is the third set of cards, I can feel it. So if you take the initiative to contact him now, if you can bring him benefits, he is willing. If you want to go and ask him want to go, if he gets something or wants to change, he must be tired of this person. That's what he is like. So the relationship between you might want to continue to maintain. Certainly there will be mutual interests, or to meet each other's needs to continue to go far in his heart is not enough to maintain your feelings. Because this person itself is more realistic, there is a high probability that he is an earth sign. Moreover, considering reality will be a little better. Let's take a look. Draw a card to see what advice this tarot card will give you. Just draw one randomly. Time will tell. What does this sentence mean? It's just what I just told you. Maybe you can understand it. Maybe some people can't agree because what they say is indeed more demanding. Maybe you haven't realized it yet. Time will prove what kind of person he is, or what your feelings are like. Everyone can type these 5 words in the comments section to further reinforce and deepen. These 5 words are to remind you constantly. Would you want to deceive the ghost? Think about this sentence. This is the third set of cards for a general interpretation. If you want to know anything else about it, you can come to Aiwe for one-on-one analysis. Smart babies should know how to get in touch with Aiwe. This is the third set of cards.